How's it going, everyone? Kim Blacktooth here. My family says I play too much Gwent, which is the perfect time to play some more Gwent. So this video is dedicated to the beginners, the ones that are still coming in to the beta, the fresh recruits, so to speak. And I'm going over a beginner monster deck. This one's going to be focused on weather. Okay, so let's get straight into it. Okay guys, this is the beginner monster deck based on weather. Now we're going to keep the Eredin leader card because he works really well in weather decks because he's immune to frost now. And, you know, he's the only one you got access to. And the other ones are okay, but he does a very good job, so you might as well keep him. Don't try and push for another one. So this deck is going to cost you 590 extra scraps, which I realize is a little bit high for beginners, but you can progressively get the cards that you want, you know, and just switch things in when you get it. But there are some annoying cards in this particular deck, which are going to be annoying to craft. And let me go over that now. The first thing that any monster needs as a beginner, if you're running these types of decks, is that you really need 3 Wild Hunt Riders and 3 Foglets. You need those to be effective as a monster player, in my opinion. And so you only get 2 Foglets and 2 Wild Hunt Riders to begin with. You're going to have to craft a third one or hope to get it in a keg. It is a rare for this Wild Hunt Rider, so it's annoying. It's 80 scraps, which is not too much, but, you know, is noticeable. You don't really want to craft it, but you do kind of need it, I feel, to be competitive a little bit. It's really hindering you that you only have 2. And the same with Foglets. These are common, so they only cost 30 scraps. But again, you only get 2 to begin with, and it's not something you want to craft because it's common. You may get it pretty early, you know, anyway. But it is really quite important that you have 3 because it just makes you a lot better. So the other cards which make up the 590 are the more expensive ones, but the ones that make a big difference as well. You've got the Water Hag for 80 scraps. She's pretty cheap and creates a rain, which is really, really nice. You've also got Coranthea, which costs 200, and Woodland Spirit, which costs 200. Now, the Woodland Spirit is the main one you want to go for first if you have to choose between those 2. Fog is a lot more better for you because you've got your Foglets, and this one is worth 16 strength if you have Foglets in your deck. So it's worth a lot more to get this one first. And then next you've got Coranthea. He can be the second one that you probably try and go for. He'll create a Frost and 2 Wild Hunt Hounds, which are melee units immune to Frost as well. 2 strength, so he's worth 12 strength. Okay, so this deck has access to 2 Frosts, one on there and one on Coranthea, 2 Fogs, one on the Fog and one on Leshen, and 2 Rain, one on the Rain card and one on the Water Hag. Okay, so you got 2 of each. Now, which row is most important for you is definitely the Fog, because you need to get these guys onto the board and try and keep them on the board if possible. Okay, the Frost is a really good one to hinder your opponent, and so is the Rain. That's a really good one. Now, you do have to be careful. This guy here is not immune to Rain, so you have to make sure you separate the turn that you play him on and the turn that you play this on, or any other Rain effect. Okay, but he's a good one to transfer over with the monster deck ability. So in general, this deck is all about hindering your opponent while also getting some strength on the board yourself. Trying to get the Wild Hunt Riders out, or possibly the Foglets, and using a Thunderbolt is quite effective. You get really nice strength from doing that if they survive the initial bring onto the board. Okay, so in terms of card replacement, there are a couple of cards which, as you progress through the game, you could get hold of, in which case could really nicely go into this deck. First one will be Ciri. She's a good card for any beginner. Really fits well in this deck as well. She's only 200, so if you want, you could try and craft her instead of one of these, but she doesn't combine with the weather aspect. It just gives you card advantage, which is great. You'll see later in some of the videos that I do where card advantage is quite important for a weather deck. So any of the dual weather cards like Marigold's Hailstorm, Skellige Storm, or White Frost could easily be fitted into this deck. Sarah as well is another card which is 200, but if you happen to get her, she works really well in a monster weather deck. You do have to be careful because she is vulnerable to wounding, but she'll fit into this deck really nicely. And finally, the Ice Giant is a great one to try and stick into this deck if you happen to get him. He's 200 as well to craft. He's 7, but worth 14 if he's in Frost, which most likely you will have Frost down, so he's a really good one as well. So a lot of beginners might be tempted to stick in the prize winning cow because it's one of the few silvers you get hold of at the beginning of the game, but it really kind of messes up with your monster deck ability. Okay, so you could put him in and do it on the same turn that you get your Foglets, so it's less likely it will be kept, but I've decided to not put it in and just put a Wild Hunt Warrior down instead, because don't forget the 9 strength Chore is not immune to weather either, so You know, providing you're playing Frosts, it's not going to be beneficial in any sense. So yeah, this is the Monster Beginner Weather deck. 590 scraps. You want to go for Leshen first. You know, maybe fill up the Wild Hunt Riders 3 max cap as well as the Foglets if you're not happening to get them, which is really annoying. And then Caranthea and the Water Hag last. Okay, so I'm going to show you some footage now where I played this deck so you can see what I'm thinking as I go through and how it ends up playing. And let me know if it actually works out for you because I'd love to hear it. Thanks guys, take care, and I'll see you again very soon. So we're playing monsters versus monsters, so weather might not be as good here. Mirror matches are common because there are a lot of monster players. So the weather thing is going to be difficult, especially if he's got a better strategy involving Foglets than you. So I've got 1 Frost, 1 Fog. Fog is not really that useful against monsters because either they're going to have Fog and Foglets and Ancient Foglets, so they'll do the foggy stuff. Or, you know, there's not really much on the ranged row that is worth it. On the siege row, they could have Crones, they could have Manticore, stuff like that, so that might be more important. But it's still good 16 value though, so it's always worth keeping the Woodland Spirit. Okay. A possibility for me. Yes, if you send me it like that, it's not viewed on stream. Okay. So first of all, he's placed that. That's quite a tough card. These are really powerful. Because they can exponentially go up depending on how long they stay in fog. So it might be worth getting rid of it straight away. We don't actually need to get rid of it now, because if he places the fog, it doesn't get buffed until the start of his next turn. So I don't need to get rid of it now unless he decides to potion it in some way. I'm going to use this to just thin my deck a little bit. And that should hopefully work. Can we see KVT without headphones? No. Don't work. Okay. What do I want to do? I mean, if I Thunderbolt, he could possibly Scorch me. And that'll be kind of crazy. But then again, getting rid of a Scorch now might be decent. So we'll give it a good go. Just mean I can't use my Scorch for a while. Okay. So they're quite a powerful combo, but we'll see what he does. I'll destroy the Foglet later. Damn man, he's got good counters here. I don't need to destroy the Foglet until he plays a Fog. Because then it won't even go up to 7 until I let it. So it's fine. I'm struggling to win this one. But if I'm gonna pass, I am gonna remove that before I pass. Because that's a dangerous one to carry over. These are not so much dangerous. So if I choose to pass here, I will definitely keep that. And so I will destroy that now. And then I might pass. Hopefully he'll play a good card.
No escape.
Decent bollocks. Alright, so I shouldn't pass now. I don't want to waste my deck ability.
You shall die worm.
Yeah. If an Ancient Foglet is played on his side, it will go up if I put down a Fog. It'll go up as soon as it's his turn, which is bad. But if he plays a Fog, it doesn't go up until the beginning of his next turn. So I've always got Owls or Thunder ready. Obviously I've used it now. We want to keep something for... Okay. So that's decent. I think we can't really beat that because they're all immune. So I'm just going to guarantee keeping him, and he's going to get, you know, a bit of RNG. Generally everything's good apart from maybe that. So we'll see how it goes. Okay. Right. I seem to have quite a bit of card advantage, or a little bit maybe. What's he gonna steal? Yo, Manticore. Not bad. I've got a rain guy. We've got this guy too. So getting them in your hand is annoying. Now usually you do want to get them out on round 1. That is something which I did with the Wild Hunts, but I didn't do with Foglets because the Ancient Foglet basically. Does that find my acceptance? I think it does find my acceptance. Right. So I need 1 point. Foglet! Yes! Yes! Although that's obviously bad for the monster deck ability, but I had to do something. Could have maybe commanded horned that instead, but it's 50-50. So I've ruined my own RNG a little bit. You have to consider that a little bit, but that won't actually get removed from the board because it's not in fog. Okay, we've got a 4 strength, which is unfortunate, but we've got Scorch ready. Oh, God. So it's my turn. We'll play that.
Death comes for you.
Unfortunate. Okay, thanks, Phaler. I was worried about Alza's Thunder, but I don't have anything else that would really tempt it out, I don't think. Let's just throw that down and see what happens.
I hate portals.
Ancient Foglets are pretty good targets to try and get rid of quick, because they can get out of control a little bit. The question is, right. Now, obviously he's going to have a decent combo, but I need to decide when's the best time to use Scorch. So he's got a 10 strength on the board now. I can easily waste all these cards and not have to worry about anything yet. I think if he has Lacerate, can't really do anything about it anyway. So, might bring his Foglets onto the board as well. But that's really good value. That was 16 there. He's got a Thunderbolt. That'll send these guys to 6 each. Okay, so he did have a Lacerate. I think I don't have the card advantage here, so I'm going to have to... I believe he's already used Scorch, or was that the last game I played? Yeah, he has. So... I can get 6 strength from that, or 4 strength from that. It's really not a big deal. So, might as well do that. In case he Commander's Horns this row or something. Dimeritium Bomb. Alright, he might have screwed himself there. Not sure what he could possibly do now to win. He's only got 10 strength on the board. So Skellige. Beginner monsters versus Skellige. I'm playing a weather deck. I don't know what he's playing. Skellige have decent cards which are immune to weather, so you have to be careful. Paranthea, Woodland Spirit are nice. Decent. Generally, Skellige's weakest units are melee and siege. Okay? The fog ones are generally fine. You don't really have to worry about fog. We're going to keep him for the value and to get the Foglets out. We need to get rid of the Foglet. And we need to get rid of a Wild Hunt Rider. And I'm thinking that maybe I don't need both Alzor's Thunders. Now if he plays Savage Bears, it's going to be a completely counter to my deck. Thank you very much.
I swear on my honor.
The tea lady does get a freebie.
Praise be the bravest.
Greetings, Goran. So it looks like he's playing a discard deck. So, again, see what I mean? Siege and melee are the most optimal things you want to go for. So you do want to try and get the Water Hag, or possibly Caranthea and a Frost or whatever. But we keep him anyway because he's always decent. And I think it might be useful just to stick him out now, so we don't get the Foglets later. But that is really kind of a really good power play later on. So we'll start with these guys first. And just see what happens. He can't Scorch them, but he could Lacerate them. They're always going to be weak to Lacerate.
Calm yourselves.
Oh, decent. He's giving me good cards here. Right, the prize winning cow is always an issue in monsters. It's not a good card for monsters, but as a beginner, it's very tempting to put it in. I have put it in because you get him for free, but it is a difficult one for monsters because your deck ability keeps them. Not very good. You may want to put the monsters in, the prize winning cow in, if you have your foglets on the board, because then the RNG is, you know, not likely to pull him. So I think at this point, I'm either going to pass or I'm going to Alzor's Thunder these. I think Alzor's Thunder in them will make him either waste some more discarding stuff, you know, like burn a Bran, and then I'm just going to pass. Oh, he's Geralted them. Okay, that's pretty decent. But at least we got rid of a powerful card. You've got to look on the bright side on these things. Did I step into it? Maybe. Could I have avoided it? Not really. At some point or another, he's going to Geralt Igni. Obviously, there is an argument for Thunderbolting your Foglets with an Ancient Foglet protecting them, which is a lot more safer than what I did, but you milled your cow. That might be a good beginner strategy. To mill your cow immediately.
Great.
Manticore seems good. Yep. We do want to win this one, I think. I would like to win. Now, you've got to be aware that playing some of these will spawn loads of little guys, and we don't want the little guys on at the minute. We only want big guys. Now, if I do that, we're going to equal in strength. I think I need to kind of win. I might use him.
You shall die, worm.
I'm definitely on the back foot at the moment. My beers. So, right, he's passed. We've definitely got a decent card. That would screw up my RNG. There's no point actually playing that now. But so we're going to keep a decent card. Hopefully it's the Frost one, because that is the most least vulnerable. Excellent. So he's immune to Frost now as well. But he's the least vulnerable. Okay, that's bad RNG that I didn't want to pull out. That's even worse RNG. Okay, so shit. Hi Destroyer. So yeah, that's what happens if you don't pull them out early. I really felt like I didn't want to play them first turn, but there is a massive argument for doing so. Wild Hunt Riders and your Foglets, first turn, good game, you know. So we're just stalling with these, I think. Damn, 2 Foglets. Yeah, we're just stalling with Foglets. What is R and G? RNG?
So be it.
Is that some sort of joke? You being funny? You being funny man? A decent amount of bad luck. Right, so at this point, how many cards is he going to have to play? We're going to have to place the cow down. RNG is short for Random Number Generator. Means some
I
stuff.
can help you if you wish.
So, I mean, I did want to play that now, but I think I won't. And if we get a Foglet in next turn, then we're going to rage quit. But he's going to have to play, you know, a decent amount of strength, maybe 2 cards to beat me, I think. So playing that now would just mean that I'm wasting a turn that he's going to have to use cards for anyway. So there's no real importance to do that, so we'll just pass. He's going to have to waste 2 cards. If I play the Foglet, it doesn't really help me because he's going to have to play those cards anyway. I don't think he can do it in one go.
You're good. Real good.
That's almost equal to Geralt Igni, but he could do some potential. Skellige's really good at setting up stuff for the next round. The cow is bad for monsters, yes, but as a beginner player, you have access to him, and, you know, he's okay. There we go, we got lucky. Not too lucky. Because we do have a Frost, and that's going to suffer.
I'm ready.
Now, you might be tempted to throw that down, but I think since he's used Geralt Igni, we need to start getting some Foglets out and such. Okay? These are going to be protected for now, but we need to get them out, get some fog out, and get going. But what you do want to do is you want to stagger these, hopefully, just in case he's running a Scorch as well. We want to stagger them, so I'm going to do my fog next. He could have clear skies, but a lot of people don't take it. He may have Dimeritium Bomb instead. You try to win them all, and I will.
You're
Because
good.
that's who I am.
Real good.
Right, so that's really good. These are going to lose to the Frost later, but they are buffing her. But we want to make sure we don't remove them from the board. We don't want that. So we're going to place the fog next, so these guys are staggered in strength. Okay. What? She went up. Why did she go up? Right, so that's something new. She's fucking skyrocketed because that counts as medic. I guess they might have been in the graveyard. I believe this is the first time I've pulled them out. Oh no, there were... Yeah, wow, they count as medic because they did come out the graveyard. So I guess that's right. You know, just surprised me, that's all. But it does count. So she's gone... She's skyrocketed. Because these have come out of the graveyard. That's a nice counter that I've never seen before, so I like that. We do have a rain, however, but she can buff past it, so there's no point in doing that yet. Right, so the ancient foglet is 7, so now they're staggered. He's not going to go up until my next turn, so no. Removing these don't reduce her. She only goes up in strength when these are resurrected. So sugar. So he used Clear Skies. Not many people run that, but he did. But he didn't. So he may have another one. How much card advantage do I have? I have card advantage. So we're going to keep Caranthea for the final push, because that's going to reduce this. We can save the rain until the one before the final push, because that will reduce its strength to 2. And that's not a bad thing. So, okay, so we've got a plan now. We know what's going to happen here. And we'll have to see, you know, how it plays out. Caranthea is the final one, so the weather is the last thing that's played. That one's probably going to be the one before the final one, just so that that's going to get reduced. It doesn't matter if he clears skies again. They're all going to get reduced, so we don't care. We may want to, I don't know, Alzor's Thunder something. I think we're going to try and bait out the Dimeritium Bomb if he has it. I've got 7 plus 6. 13, 14 strength there and 13 there. That's going to go down in Frost later, so there's no point in doing that. So we're going to Commander's Horn this row and just wait to see if he puts anything on the melee on the siege range row. Can you show the deck? Yeah, I can show the deck. It's a beginner's deck. You know, generally using basic stuff, and I think about 560 scraps. You could probably get that down because a third foglet is common, so hopefully you would not have to craft that. Hopefully you just get that from some free-to-play kegs. You know, it's mostly Caranthea, Leshen. They're generally the things that cost the most. So there, Dimeritium Bomb. Right, we couldn't bait it out there, but we can still win this. We're going to have to use this on something. We'll use it. If he's got Restoration, he can bring her back onto the board. Doesn't matter anyway, but we will get rid of her for now. And it wastes a turn. Yeah, yeah. I normally cut my videos out, but the when your name came up, it was when something was happening on screen. I did notice that because I went back and checked if I could cut that out, but it didn't. All right, so that's fine. They're all going to lose to Frost. Oh, and like I said, Restoration in Sigfreya. She's getting up again, but she's now going to be 4 strength because of what Restoration does. And if you're not sure what Restoration does, it's a silver medic card, special card. Resurrect a non-gold unit and add 2 strength. So you can't really chain medics, but you can chain silver medics, and that's what he did. So we're going to play that first. So that's going to go down to 1. If you clear skies, then that's going to go up. So there we go. We played it perfectly. Saving the Frost because that was the most devastating till the final round. And hopefully that will win me the game. Because if I'd have used that earlier, it would have cleared skies earlier, and I would have lost. Okay, so he had some pretty decent cards there, not, you know, very good. Alright, so we're fighting more monsters. So obviously monster mirrors are difficult because everyone uses weather, and most of your weather stuff becomes a bit obsolete. He's using Dagon, so it's not really going to hurt me unless I get the Manticore out, or I get the cow out. Now, there's a lot of stuff that I don't necessarily want here then. Fog being one. He's not going to put anything in fog apart from possibly a wyvern that I want to get rid of, but I need to get rid of these foglets. And we're going to make sure we get them out immediately. Frost could be good if he decides he's going for things like golems and stuff. I mean, it is always a bit of an issue. We're going to have to beat him via just strength. I'm going to get rid of the fog. We don't need that. Owl's Thunder, alright. Is KBT in the making of a new vid? Yes. This is how we demonstrate. So I think he might be... I don't know what he's going for. Alright. Right, one interesting thing is that he cannot keep that onto the board. Because it's gold now, he can't keep that. So... I did want to get my foglets out, but I really feel like I want to pass first. We're going to do it. He's got a bit of an unconventional deck at the moment. Right, he's got a foglet deck. By the looks of things. If that scorches, I'm going to scorch that and then the 2s. I've got 10 on the board. Yeah, I considered about passing, playing Eridan Pass, but things changed. So what's he doing? Frosting to waste? Okay. I get the last chance. There we go. We decided to swallow that so that I'm still a little bit alive. Might have been a waste, depends how you say. But, you know, I'm still ahead. And now we can do other stuff. So we're both pushing quite a bit here. It's interesting. I don't have a second one of those, which is unfortunate. Don't have an Alzor's Thunder either. What did I use Alzor's Thunder on? Oh, that was quite important. He's good at mixing cards, he's good at mixing drinks. So, I'm tempted to put down that, but the RNG is not looking great. It's basically 2-4. I think a pass would be devastating for me. But what are the odds he's got that sort of stuff? I don't know. Alright. This is becoming a bit of a struggle.
Let's get this over with.
We might all be going... He's catching up on me by 1 point every turn. Yeah, Thunderbolt. Okay. I can't use that yet because I've got 2 scorched targets. So... let's use that. I like to win, guys. I don't know if you know. So if I use that, I'll be 10. I'll be 53. He's going to go to 50 something. So I wouldn't... This is weird, okay? We're just kind of pushing a little bit all over the place. I can't play that is basically the thing, because it would ruin that. It's either that or that. He's not gold, so we'll throw him down, I think. Hold on, we've got a lot of 10s here. So we'll play this guy. Basically, I need to win this round. That's my thinking. But those things are annoying. He's just getting one more every time. God, his foglets are going crazy. Right. Maybe just pass and keep the 1 card advantage. He might be tempted to use it. If that is a Leshen, he won't use it. Because it's quite important if it's one of those woodland spirits, I mean. But at this point, he'll get 2 points next turn, which is really annoying. And then that'll be 55. So I think it's worth doing that. And we'll just see. See if he plays that 1 card. It is Leshen. So I've lost this round, but I've made him waste his big combo because of all those foglets. I think so. Hopefully, we just got to see who gets the best RNG. Okay, I think we're about even because he's got so many more foglets than me. Prizeman and Cow, not good. 1 strength thing, not good. But if I can win this round, Prizeman and Cow hopefully will fuck me up next turn too. Oh, that's good. That's a good combo. Shit, man. These are definitely the thing that I need to do to lessen my RNG. Yo! Okay. It's up to this guy then. This is beginner's pyro. This is beginner monsters, so you generally would take cow. Right, are you ready? 50-50 both of us. 50-50. This is monsters in a nutshell, guys. Damn. Alright, we're in. Right. Oh! I can't ping my own. That's fucking shit, man. Right, yeah. So I can't ping my own. I can ping his. Not a good thing, so... Let's do that. I'm basically 1 card down. Can't really use that. Like Frost. Nice. Right. I don't know if this is going to go into the beginner tutorial series. I don't think I played a... How would you call it? A sensible game that I'd want to put into a beginner's tutorial series.